Saitama is a weak human who one day decided to become a hero. He trained every day for 3 years, which broke his limiter and gave him the power of God, allowing him to defeat any opponent with a single punch no matter how big or powerful. One punch is enough. His punches are so strong that the shockwave alone can split the mountain and cut atmosphere in half. He is so powerful that he can jump from the moon to Earth faster than speed of light. And it all began in Japan, when a sudden explosion happens. Just when people look out of window, a shock wave leads to disaster. An alien monster appears who caused it, and he goes to launch another attack destroying buildings. Even heroes lie defeated by this monster, as he walks away after beating them. A reporter tries to warn people, but his camera gets destroyed mid-while. Now we see an unknown hero, on the way to save people. In midst of disaster, a girl is crying for help. Just then the monster appears from behind and about to crush her, but an unknown hero saves her on time. Monster says, "You're fast." "Who are you?" he says. "I'm just a guy who's hero for fun." Monster gets pissed. "What kind of half-assed backstory is that?" He says, "I was formed from constant stream of pollution caused by humans. I am Vaccine Man. You humans are nothing but disease-causing bacteria polluting this earth. So Earth gave birth to me to wipe you out." He increases in size and changes his form, trying to scare the hero, but he just destroys him with one punch, eliminating his existence from Earth. Hence, this unknown hero is called One Punch Man. He gets mad that the monster was too weak. Now we see his past. Everyone was running. A guy stood bravely in front of the monster, who asks, "You don't want to run." He says, "I consumed too many crabs, and I became Crab Lord. Why are you standing here? Do you have a death wish?" He says, "Not really," and introduces himself as Saitama, and tells, "I had another interview. I got rejected today again. I am jobless. So I don't care about running, even if mighty Crab Lord has appeared." Crab Lord says, "Your eyes are lifeless and you don't seem to be scared, so I'll let you go. I'm looking for a big-chinned brat. He's my prey." As Saitama walks toward home, he spots a big-chinned brat. He suddenly remembers Crab Lord is finding this brat. "He's gonna be dead," he asked. "Did you mess with Crab Lord?" Kid recalls and says, "Yeah, kind of. He was sleeping in the park when I drew some nipples on him." Shocking Saitama. He thinks of saving him, but couldn't find him cute and thinks of walking away. Just then Crab Lord appears saying, "I found you," and as he attacks, Saitama drags the kid away. He tells the kid to run, because the monster is after you. But he says, "What about my soccer ball?" and the monster crushes it. He asks Saitama, "Why are you protecting this stinking brat? Whoever tried to make fun of me, I killed all of them. And this brat drew nipples on my body. It makes me so angry." He says to Saitama, "Don't come in my way." Suddenly, Saitama starts laughing and says, "You look exactly like a villain from an anime I used to watch," and gets thrown away by the monster instantly. And then when he's about to kill the boy, Saitama throws a stone at him. He is standing alive and says, "When I was a little boy, I wanted to be a hero, so I decide today. I want to be a hero who could send rotten villains like you flying with one punch." He cries out, "Bring it on." But Crab Lord punches him saying, "Some hero you are. You don't stand a chance against me, you pathetic." And just when he's about to kill him, Saitama jumps and pulls his eye with his tie. And with that, in a few moments, Crab Lord gets destroyed and is lying on the ground. The scene shifts to the present, and as Saitama aka One Punch Man is holding crab meat, he recalls how hard he trained after that day, that he went bald. Then he goes to pay at the counter. When lights start flickering, as he's about to pay, something destroys the building in a moment. He walks out to see, and a huge monster leg can be seen which destroyed everything. A mad scientist is standing on the monster saying, "Well done little brother, whose steps destroy everything." He recalls his past when he wanted to become the strongest man. He did a lot of exercise and worked hard for that, while his brother was preparing an ultimate steroid for him. He gives it to his brother and says, "You will get most powerful with this." He drinks it instantly, which turned him into a big muscle monster. And now they walk on the earth to conquer it together. He keeps destroying everything, and his brother says, "This is incredible. Now let's go to the next town and destroy it." The siren starts buzzing, and people are made aware about the creature. People are running for their lives. Mad scientist says, "Yeah, kill those filthy rats," as he enjoys people in terror. Just then Saitama asks, "How does it feel to be the most powerful?" And he cries, "There is someone on your shoulder." As he slaps his shoulder and looks at it, he cries. He accidentally killed his brother. He gets mad and holds Saitama, then throws him away with force. He then starts punching him more in rage saying, "I am the most powerful." After that, he checks his palm having the smashed body of his brother. He says, "I feel so empty without big brother." Just then One Punch Man comes out from the crater and punches him in the face, destroying him in seconds. He having overwhelming power is pretty boring. He then walks away and thinks, "The world is the same since I became a hero. It's still evil. I haven't made any impact." He then spots a cat and walks towards it. He wonders, "There is something that's bothering me lately, that I don't feel any emotions anymore." Just then another monster appears in front of him, but he feels nothing and thinks, so I've gotten so powerful in exchange for my emotions. Monster says, get away from my way, but then Saitama punches him, turning him into bits. He walks away thinking, now I've become so powerful that one punch is enough to kill monsters. In his home, he washes bloodstains from his gloves. Then sitting in the bathtub, he thinks. He doesn't enjoy killing monsters now. It's so easy. Then goes to sleep thinking, now being a hero is just a hobby. Next morning, when birds are chirping, something wakes up Saitama from sleep. He sees his house is destroyed, and a monster appears from behind and throws him away. Saitama thinks, monster seems to be tough. He asks, who are you? And monster replies, we are real inhabitants of Earth, not you humans. Just then more of his friends appear from below the ground. He says, since we are getting overpopulated, we want to live on the surface of the Earth like humans, but for that we've to eradicate you. Saitama thinks, it's been long since I've met such worthy opponents. He punches Saitama, but when Saitama punches back, he gets destroyed. All of his friends are shocked to see this. They all start coming for Saitama, and their fight starts. They try to catch him, but instead he punches them all. More start coming to fight him, but he keeps dodging and fighting them. The remaining monsters wonder what kind of human Saitama is. So powerful, never seen before. Saitama appears and says, I'm a guy who's a hero for fun, and the Earth is under my protection, and he then starts punching them one by one. He feels so good while fighting, because it's been a while since he fought such a fight. After destroying them all, he takes a deep breath, but then the Monster King appears. He walks toward him and goes to punch. Just then his alarm rings, and he realizes it was just a dream. Monsters living underground appear in real, and Saitama jumps to deal with them, killing the king instantly. He tells the army to come and fight, but they escape putting a flag. Sorry about that. At Saitama's apartment, some reporters talk about a mosquito outbreak on TV. While he fills a jug with water and walks to the balcony, the reporter warns that mosquitoes have already started killing animals in the city and urges the citizens to stay indoors. Meanwhile, Saitama waters his cactus plant. A mosquito flies and sits on his hand. He smacks it, but it doesn't die and flies away. He tries to catch it with his hand but fails. It flies and rests on his face. He slaps his face but it is still alive. Then he puts the jug down. He dashes around the balcony trying to kill it. While a swarm of mosquitoes enters into Saitama's town, a siren blows, telling everyone to stay inside. A blonde cyborg looks at a dead bird. He says, target acquired. In the city, a thief walks out of a store with some stolen items. He laughs and says, there is no one here because they were all afraid of mosquitoes. Suddenly, a swarm of mosquitoes flies past him. He thinks it's the wind. Another swarm attacks him and covers up his body. He struggles, but they suck up his blood leaving a dried up body. The mosquitoes forming a bigger swarm revealing a female monster inside. She licks her lips as they fly around her. Then she says, that blood wasn't enough for me. Go get some more for me. Nearby, the blonde man who is a cyborg points his hands at her and shoots a fire beam. He says, so you are the one controlling the mosquitoes. If I kill you, maybe they will disappear. She laughs and commands her mosquitoes. Bring me that fool's blood. They cover him, but he burns them all. She is shocked as she looks at his flaming hand. He tells her he will kill her. She laughs and says, go on and try. Meanwhile, Saitama claps his hands angrily saying, I got you. But the mosquito flies out which makes him clench his teeth angrily. Back to the cyborg, he jumps up to punch the monster. She evades and uses her claws to attack, but he blocks with his arm. He blasts her. He lands on a wall and jumps towards her, but she hits him to the ground. He slides on the floor and fires beams at her. She dodges them and rips off his arm. She laughs but realizes he cut off her legs. She stares in shock and tries to run. He fires a beam at her, but the swarm blocks the attack. As she escapes, she says, I need blood to fight this guy. While the cyborg runs towards the swarm, he looks at it and prepares to fire a beam, but stops when he sees Saitama angrily running towards him, chasing a mosquito with bug spray. Saitama sees the swarm and is shocked. The cyborg warns him to run away because the swarm will attack soon. They hear the monster laugh. Then the swarm drops on them and destroys the surrounding buildings. The cyborg uses his hand to create lightning and destroy the swarm. The explosion sets the streets on fire. When it clears, the cyborg says, I destroyed all the mosquitoes because they were all together. He says, I made sure there were no civilians before I fired the beam. He remembers Saitama and turns around, seeing him naked but fine. Saitama thanks him for killing the bugs as the cyborg looks at him in shock. He hears laughter and sees the monster. She has evolved and is stronger now. She says, I don't need those bugs anymore and destroys a building, which amazes them. She dashes and appears behind the cyborg, tearing his side with her claws. He tries to punch her, but she lifts him into the air and attacks him, ripping his body into shreds with her claws. As he falls down, she tells, I am going to kill you. The cyborg tries to self-destruct to kill them both. She gets close to him to attack. Suddenly, Saitama appears and slaps her to death. He falls to the ground and asks Saitama for his name. Saitama says, "It's Saitama." The cyborg asks to become his disciple. Saitama says, "Alright." The next day the cyborg stands at the door of Saitama's apartment. He calls him. Saitama peeps outside and says, "So you came." The cyborg introduces himself as Genos. Inside the house, Saitama tells him he doesn't want a disciple. Then he says, "How is your body back already?" Genos tells him that parts of his body can be replaced. He points at his head and asks if it's armor. Saitama gets angry and asks, "What's your problem?" Genos says, 4 years ago when I was 15, I lived peacefully with my family, until a crazy cyborg lost control and attacked my town. It killed my family, leaving only me alive. A doctor passing through the town rescued me. The doctor was on a mission to stop the cyborg. I asked the doctor to make me into a cyborg and promised to stop the crazy killer. Saitama listens impatiently, as Genos says, "Now I am 19 years old and have been moving around fighting crime and evil, but I still haven't found the cyborg." He tells Saitama that he got careless when he fought the mosquito monster because he didn't analyze her information, and he rushed in to fight her, only to lose to her. If Saitama had not been around, he would have died. He says, when he saw Saitama kill the monster with one punch, he wanted to become his disciple. Saitama shakes from listening to his long story. He shouts angrily at Genos, "Enough, you idiot." At a lab, a man says Mosquito Girl was killed with one punch. He sees a picture of Saitama and thinks he will make a fine subject. He tells a man to bring him here so they can study his body. Meanwhile, at Saitama's house, Genos begs him to train him to become stronger. Saitama agrees to teach him but warns him it will be difficult and asks if he agrees to it. Genos says yes. Suddenly, Genos ducks and says enemies are coming. A monster breaks through the roof to attack them, but Saitama kills it in one punch. Downstairs, a slug and frog monster appear. Genos senses them and jumps down to attack but is shocked to see Saitama has already beaten them. As Saitama talks to him, a pair of hands drags him into the ground. Genos rushes to help, but Saitama says, "It's alright, I am fine." Suddenly, lightning appears behind Genos. He turns around and sees a cyborg. The cyborg jumps and attacks him, but he dodges and kicks it, and they both punch each other. Genos says, "I have some questions for you." Meanwhile, a lion monster approaches Saitama and laughs at him for getting stuck. Another monster comes out from the ground. Genos turns back. The cyborg attacks him, but he sidesteps and burns it. It jumps out from the flames and attacks him. He jumps back. The cyborg says, "You are not our target, we want your master." Genos asks what they want with Saitama. The cyborg tells him it's none of his business and approaches him to kill him. Meanwhile, the lion monster talks to Saitama. He yawns and says, "Go away," making the monster angry. It laughs and tells him, "I will pluck out your eyes." Saitama steps out from the ground and tells the monsters to apologize for destroying his roof. The monster tries to threaten him, but Saitama dusts dirt off his pants and says, "Hold on, let me shake this dirt off." When he is done, the monster brings out its claws and slashes at him. He dodges. The lion monster powers up and begins slashing very quickly at Saitama. Saitama dodges all the slashes, flies into the air, and says, "Consecutive normal punches." He punches the monster, killing it instantly. Its body drops, and he stares at another monster. It panics and runs away, digging through the earth. Saitama appears underground and punches it out. He gets up and sees Genos talking to a beaten chimpanzee in armor. It says, "You guys can't beat our strongest fighter." Saitama shows him an eyeball and asks, "Is this him?" The chimpanzee suddenly begs them and says it will tell them everything. Now we see the home of a brilliant scientist, who made a lot of scientific discoveries that earned him many awards. But achieving his goals made him lose faith in humanity. People didn't support his ideas because they thought he was weird. His dream was to advance humans and increase their physical strength and power. But no one came forward to help him. This made him angry, and when he read newspapers, he sees other scientists mocking his ideas and calling him a freak. He decides to chase his dream alone and begins researching at his lab. He makes a discovery at the old age of Faye. With his research, he makes himself young again and creates clones of his body. Then he names his lab the House of Evolution. With his clones he began experimenting and creating monsters. Saitama interrupts him. "Get to the point," Genos says. "Sensei is busy, man, tell your story in Faye words." Chimp tells them, "My boss is curious about your body." Saitama says, "I'm not interested in dudes." Genos clears his misunderstanding. "The scientist wants your body for his research." Saitama tells Genos, "Let's go and deal with the scientist now. There is a sale I don't want to miss tomorrow." The chimp tries to send a secret message, but Genos returns and asks him if he knows the cyborg that killed his family. The chimp says, "I don't know." At the laboratory, the scientist is angry that the monsters he sent to capture Saitama are dead. His clones tell him that Saitama and Genos are on the way. He says that if they make it to the lab they might destroy all his work and research. He tells them to prepare to use Carnage, Kabuto, his secret weapon. They are shocked and afraid hearing this. He tells them he will only use it as a last resort and activates all the traps in the building. On the way to the lab, Genos asks why Saitama doesn't just fly there. Saitama tells him that he is human and can't fly. They jump over some rocks and arrive at the House of Evolution. Saitama counts the floors of the building, but Genos uses a fire blast to completely destroy the building. Saitama asks why he did that. Genos tells him it was better to destroy the building instantly, rather than fight all the monsters inside. They find a door leading underground, and Saitama opens it. Meanwhile, a clone is shooting at a monster. He is afraid and shouts at the monster to stop. The monster crushes him to death and breathes heavily in a huge hall. The scientist approaches the monster. He asks if he feels alright. The monster tells him he's tired of being locked up in the dark. He breaks his chains and tells the scientist that he is the strongest one in the lab. The scientist tells him he was locked up because he was mentally unstable. Monster laughs and tells him that he is smarter and stronger than the scientist and his clones, and that they should be obeying him. Scientist tells him to kill him if he wants to, but he shows him a picture of Saitama and says he wants Saitama's body at any cost. He says Saitama is strong, so he wants him dead or alive. The monster smiles. Meanwhile, Genos and Saitama are inside the building. Genos stops suddenly. He tells Saitama that he senses two people approaching them. It's the monster holding the scientist and charging towards them, and slams Genos into the wall. It introduces himself as Carnage Kabuto and tells Saitama that there is a training room where they can fight. Saitama angrily tells him, "Let's do it." The monster laughs. In the training room, he tells Saitama that they can fight as much as they want. Suddenly, a beam of fire from Genos hits him. Genos dashes into the room and kicks him, then begins shooting beams at him. He jumps in to attack him and punches him several times. The monster knocks him back, and he tumbles until Saitama catches him. He tells Saitama that he can still fight. Saitama tells him not to push himself. Genos fires a beam of fire at the monster, but it blows it back with its breath. Surprising Genos, the fire burns his hair. Monster makes fun of them while Saitama prepares to fight. He tells the monster, "That was pretty impressive." Meanwhile, the scientist is injured. He walks toward the training room. He remembers being younger and surrounded by foolish people. That was when he decided to improve the human race so everyone wouldn't be so dumb. He falls to his knees and thinks about the fight going on. He says, "I must see the result of my hard work," and walks into the training room. He thinks, "How will this fight turn out?" Saitama approaches the monster and says, "I hope you aren't weak." Monster dashes forward, surprising Genos. Suddenly, he jumps back. He's afraid. Saitama asks, "What are you doing?" The scientist is shocked at this. Monster is afraid and thinks, "This guy would have killed me if I attacked him just now." He shouts, "How did you get so strong?" Everyone looks at him amazed. He says, "Okay, fine, I will tell you." Genos, "You listen too." Genos thinks, is he about to tell us the secret to his strength? The scientist says, "I want to know as well." Saitama asks, "Who are you?" Genos thinks, he mustn't let them know his secret. Saitama tells them it's a training exercise. The scientist thinks, what kind of training? Saitama tells Genos that he has to do this no matter how hard it gets. Fei push-ups, Fei sit-ups, and Fei squats, which amazes them. He also says, a Fei-cam run every single day. He tells them to eat 3 meals a day, and that a banana in the morning is fine. He warns them not to use the air conditioner in the summer or the heater in the winter to strengthen the mind. He tells them he did this every day, no matter how tired he was, even when his body was making weird noises. He kept going. Year later, he noticed his hair had fallen out and he had become stronger. He tells them to train hard until their hair falls out. He says, all these artificial human experiments won't make you strong. They all stare at him in shock. Genos angrily says, Master, you are full of crap. He tells him that this training is basic and he doesn't want to hear jokes. He says, your strength cannot be achieved by just training. He begs Saitama to reveal his secret. Saitama is confused and says, that is what I did. The monster starts transforming, which scares the scientist. It says, if you don't want to tell us your secret, so be it. I will beat it out of you. It transforms into its carnage mode. It tells him that this form lasts for a week until next Saturday, and after killing him, it will enter the city and destroy it. Saitama is surprised as the monster dashes and punches him, knocking him away. As he punches him, Saitama thinks, this guy will fight like this for a whole week. As he falls, he punches him around the room while Saitama thinks, I made a mistake. As he falls and shatters the ground. As he punches him continuously, Saitama blocks while the monster says, die. The scientist watches them fight. Saitama thinks, if the monster stops fighting next week Saturday, 1 whole week from today, that means today is Saturday too. He clenches his fist and punches him, killing the monster, and shouts, today is bargain day at the supermarket. The scientist is shocked and thinks, who is this guy? Saitama holds his head and screams, "I messed up." The scientist asks what he's talking about. Genos shows him a flyer. He explains, Saitama is upset because he's missing a cheap bargain sale at a supermarket, which is today, since it's Saturday. Genos tells Saitama they still have 4 hours to go to the store. They punch a hole in the wall and leave. The scientist thinks, I am done with evolution. Now we see a bald guy addressing people about inequality. He asks why do the rich get fatter and the poor starve? Why can't we equally divide food instead of working all the time for it? Today, Hammerhead, the leader of Paradise Society, promises to create a world where people won't be forced to work. Just then his subordinate says, "Boss, nobody is listening." He yells, "These people are idiots. Let's wreck the penthouse of the richest man Zanuris." He sees the rich man's building. He gets angry and says, there is no way he made this much money legally, destroy it. His subordinate punches the building. The leader laughs and talks about how strong their battle suits are. But his underling checks a map and says, "Boss, we destroyed the wrong house." Hammerhead glares at them and says everyone makes mistakes. Meanwhile, under a tree, a child watches a man who catches a balloon string. He mounts his bicycle as the child holds the balloon and thanks him. He gives him a thumbs up and rides away. At Saitama's house, he wakes up screaming, "I won't play rock paper scissors with you," but soon realizes it was just a dream. He turns on the TV. A woman on the news talks about the Paradise Society and their attack on the building. Saitama brushes his teeth as the woman describes Hammerhead. She says he is a wanted criminal who once beat up Fey men and sent them to the hospital. Saitama watches the news as he drinks water. He thinks the news is boring. The woman says all the men with Hammerhead have bald heads, which stuns him. He sees pictures of them as the news anchor warns that all bald men should be avoided. He thinks, I will be mistaken for a villain even when I am a hero. He wears his hero costume, thinking, I will make them pay. Meanwhile, the police fail to stop Hammerhead and his men. They head down the street, until a hero approaches on a bike and tries to stop them. The crows get excited because he is here to help them. He parks his bicycle and stands in front of them. He says, Mumen Rider is here. He rushes to attack them, but ends up getting beaten badly. Or at a building, a butler warns the rich man that Hammerhead is coming. The man refuses to run. His guard tells him not to panic, that he will take care of them. The butler says, you are only one man, and the man asks if he can handle it. The guard teleports behind them. He says, you should worry about their bodies because I will kill them all, which shocks them. He says only Hammerhead might be a problem. As they walk, one of them points out the rich man's building. He says people call it the Golden Poop. Hammerhead tells them to keep moving. They keep walking until he stops them. The guard appears from a shadow and tells them the rich man sent him. He tells them that no one has survived his attack, but if they surrender, he will spare their lives. He smiles at them. Hammerhead tells them to attack him. They charge toward him. He dashes to them and cuts off a man's head, then starts slicing their heads off. He spins in the air and cuts a man's head in 3. As he slices their heads, Hammerhead is afraid. The guard jumps toward him and kills a man in front of him. Hammerhead covers his head, afraid. The guard slices his armor. Hammerhead angrily slams the ground, creating a shockwave. He looks around and finds the guard on a tree. Then he throws a huge rock at him. In the city, people are scared of Saitama because of his bald head. The guard keeps dodging the rocks. He smiles and covers his mouth. Hammerhead tells him, you cannot beat me. I am fighting for justice. The guard looks at the rocks. He thinks, he is trying to bait me to fight him head on. Hammerhead grabs a rock and says he will keep throwing them at him. The guard laughs and says, very pathetic. Then he dashes at supersonic speed toward him. Hammerhead raises a huge tree and smashes it at him. He shouts, think of how stupid you were to fight me. Suddenly, a knife pierces his head from behind. He falls down and the guard makes a phone call. As he makes the call, he notices Hammerhead has disappeared. Hammerhead runs away with the knife in his head, thinking, it's a good thing I have a strong skull. He thinks, one day, I will kill that bastard. As he runs, he sees Saitama in the woods. Saitama turns around and notices him. Meanwhile, repairs are being made on Genos' body. He tells the doctor how Saitama saved his life from Mosquito Girl. The doctor tells him he is glad Genos is fine. The doctor tells Genos that he understands that he feels grateful to Saitama for saving his life. He tells him about a new set of armor that he is making for him that will make him even stronger than Saitama, which amazes Genos. At the woods, Hammerhead asks Saitama if he came to join the Paradise. He tells him that he came to beat them up. Hammerhead attacks Saitama, raising dust. When the dust settles, he is shocked to see Saitama standing. Saitama is disappointed at the suit is weak power. Hammerhead gets angry and tells him it was hard getting the suits. He powers up and becomes bigger. Lightning flashes from the suit. Then he spins his arms to attack him. Saitama catches his arms, stunning Hammerhead. Hammerhead asks, who the hell are you? Saitama gives him an elbow to the belly and completely destroys the suit, leaving him naked. He begs Saitama to spare him. Saitama tells him not to be bad anymore and lets him go. He runs away but, naked into the woods. As Saitama walks through the woods, the guard appears and asks if he saw Hammerhead. He points where Hammerhead ran to. Suddenly, a knife flies toward him. He catches it, but a blade also flies toward his eyes. He holds the blade, which surprises the guard. He breaks the guard's sword. He tells him that he is not one of the Paradiser. The guard doesn't believe him. He tries to explain, but the guard points at his bald head. Saitama tells him that he is a hero. The guard tells him he has never heard of him. He tells him, "You blocked my attacks twice. I have been training since I was a child, but yet you caught my attacks so easily. I can't let you live." The guard starts dashing very quickly around him. Saitama tells him, "You just want to fight me. That's why you are smiling weirdly." The guard smiles and jumps in the air, thinking, "Can you see how fast I am?" The guard runs around him at high speeds. As the guard dashes toward him, he turns and says, "I want to go." The guard is shocked and spins to kick him. Saitama sidesteps the kick and raises his arm. The guard falls on it, with his balls hitting Saitama's fist. Saitama apologizes and says it was a mistake. The guard tells Saitama that he is a ninja and his name is Speed. Oh, Sound Sonic. He tells him he will get stronger and beat him. He asks for his name. He tells Saitama that he will not rest until he defeats him, while he shakes in pain. Saitama encourages him to train hard. That evening, at Saitama's apartment, Genos asks him what kind of person has such a name. Genos tells him that he will get rid of the ninja if he bothers Saitama. Saitama tells Genos to go home. He tells him that he found a problem today. Genos asks what the problem was. Saitama says, "No one knows who I am," which surprises Genos. Saitama tells him he has fought a lot of monsters, and yet he is not popular. He thinks he should have a fan club by now, but Hammerhead told him today that he had never heard of him before, and he says the people in the city called him a terrorist, forgetting the monsters he defeated in the past. Genos remembers the news talking only about the man with the bicycle, not Saitama. He gets an idea and asks if Saitama is on the heroes register. They read about a test that people have to take before becoming official heroes. The heroes are paid for their work. Saitama tells him he didn't know. He asks if Genos is registered. He tells him no. He tells Genos that they should register together and he will make him his official disciple. Meanwhile, in the woods, Hammerhead begs as someone punches him. Two robots stand near his bleeding body and talk about how he stole the suits. He cries as they leave and thanks his mother for his thick skull. Later, Saitama fills out a hero application form as he watches TV. The news anchor talks about the Paradise Society and how young people don't want to work. Saitama says he and Hammerhead are alike. He lies down and wonders what would have happened if he wasn't a hero. In next scene, at Hero Association headquarters, the officials talk about Mumen Rider wanting to remain a hero at Class C rank. An official talks about the hero entrance test. A woman says we have Fei candidates this year. The officials are excited by the huge numbers. A bald man asks if the special candidate will appear. An official say yes, he likely will, while holding a document with an image of Genos. On the day of the test, a lot of candidates have turned up for the hero certification exam at the test site. Inside the hall, Saitama also shows up for the hero test. Some men point and laugh at him because he looks dumb. The announcer tells him to perform side steps. He does it very quickly, which amazes them. Next, he outlifts everyone at the weightlifting event. He wins a race with insane speed. Saitama's shot put hits the roof at the shot put event, and his head gets stuck on the roof at the high jump event. He shows his speed at whack-a-mole and his strength by punching a machine through the wall. The men who mocked him are amazed and start leaving. At the locker room, Saitama waits for the test results. Genos approaches him. Saitama asks if he was done with the test. He says yes. Then he asks Genos how the exam went. He tells him the test was too easy. Saitama agrees that the physical tests weren't challenging at all. Genos tells him that to pass, they need at least Fei points. An hour later, they check their results. Genos has a perfect Fei points. He tells Saitama that he has an S-class ranking. He asks him about his results. Saitama pulls out the paper halfway. He says, "I am also S-class." Genos praises him and says, "As expected of master." Then he asks how his interview went. Saitama doesn't understand. At Genos' interview, an official shows him the House of Evolution. He tells him they were investigating them and found out that the lab was recently destroyed. They ask if he was responsible for destroying it. He tells them he did it. They are shocked and immediately give him an S-class rating. Genos tells Saitama that maybe he was too strong, so they didn't bother interviewing him. Saitama turns around, ashamed, and says, "Maybe it is because I am Class C." Genos explains that he thought the letter was because of how Saitama opened the envelope. Saitama shouts at him to stop analyzing it. An announcement invites both of them to come to the lecture hall. Saitama tells Genos the rankings do not matter. At a movie set, a handsome man gets a phone call telling him Genos passed the exam. He says he approves. Next at lecture hall, a man congratulates both of them for passing. He tells them Saitama was lucky to pass and should work hard. Saitama chews gum as he listens. He tells them to be humble because their faces will be shown on the hero's website. He jumps on the table and does a martial arts showcase. He tells them to become a hero like him. Instead, Saitama blows a gum bubble that explodes on his face. The hero tells them he has a lot of power and if they are not careful, he can get them demoted. That night, as they walk home, Genos tells him the association was formed years ago. He tells Saitama that a rich billionaire started it when his grandchild was kidnapped by a monster and a passerby helped save the child. Genos says, as new heroes, they would be known around the world and get paid for work. He stops and tells Saitama he is now officially his disciple. He wishes Saitama goodnight and walks away. Saitama thinks he shouldn't have taken Genos as a disciple. At an office, a hero complains about Genos and Saitama, saying they are dumb and would die soon. An official standing by the window tells him that Genos got perfect scores, but Saitama had bad scores on the essay but had a perfect physical score, breaking all previous records. He tells him that Saitama has the body of a god. He warns the hero that if he is not careful, Saitama will surpass him. On the way home, Saitama thinks about how to get to class and says Genos is amazing. He stops and sees the hero Snek, who runs, jumps, and stands in front of him. Snek tells him that heroes crush newbies so they don't lose their ranks to them. He punches Saitama with a snake fist. The next thing, Snek is on the floor. Saitama walks away, leaving him there. The next day, Genos and Saitama are at a valley. Genos tells him that they are both ranked last in their class and that they need to perform heroic acts to get their hero names. Saitama asks what hero names are. Genos tells him they are names people give heroes. Saitama worries he might be called Caped Baldy. Genos thanks Saitama for agreeing to come today. Saitama tells him no problem and walks away till he stops at a distance. He asks Genos, we are just practicing, not fighting for real. He tells him yes but adds, I want you to fight seriously. Genos enters a fighting stance. He dashes towards Saitama and kicks him, but Saitama ducks. He turns around in midair and spins to kick him again. Genos dashes around, then flies up and lands with a kick. It shatters the ground. Saitama jumps away, but Genos fires a blast at him. He lands and says, that was close. Genos hits the ground with his blast, flies out, and chases after Saitama at supersonic speeds. As they dash around, he punches Saitama, destroying the mountainside in the process. Saitama disappears. Genos angrily scans for him and finds him running. He lands in front of him, then transforms his hands into a cannon, shooting a huge fire beam, thinking he got him. Saitama taps him from behind and says, I win. Genos punches at him, but Saitama jumps back. Genos reminds him of the rules in the practice fight, that he must fight seriously without holding back and stop dodging. Genos thinks Saitama doesn't know his own strength, and that maybe from this fight, he might understand it. He tells Saitama to show him no mercy. Suddenly, Saitama dashes to him. Genos kicks at him, but he appears behind him. Genos sees death, as a huge fist approaches his face, but Saitama stops the punch inches from his face. He taps his head and tells him, let's go and eat. Genos thinks, I want to become strong, but I can't see myself coming close to Master's power. He looks behind and sees a huge valley caused by Saitama's punch. He thinks Saitama is on a different level. In a car park, a handsome man makes a phone call. He asks for Genos' location and says he wants to meet him. At a restaurant, Saitama and Genos are eating noodles. Saitama sees a shop bonus and challenges him to a noodle showdown. The people around and the shop owner are shocked as they eat. Saitama falls down, but Genos drinks the big bowl of noodles and asks if he won. The door opens and the handsome man walks in, surprising everyone. He approaches Genos and introduces himself as a My Mask, class A rank Fey hero. The women behind are amazed he is here. Saitama warns Genos that he might be here to fight him. Genos tells Saitama to wait here. Outside the store, the man asks if he is class. Genos says yes and asks, what about it? Later, Genos comes back into the store. Saitama says, for someone so handsome to come here, you must be really class. Then he asks if they fought. Genos tells him, no, he just came to welcome me to the Hero Association. As they talk, some girls approach them and ask to shake Genos' hands. He shakes their hands as Saitama watches. Later that night, as they walk home, Saitama says heroes are treated differently based on ranks and points at the envelope Genos is holding. He tells him to do his best. Genos remembers the meeting with the handsome man. The man tells him to be a symbol of justice, as expected of all Class S heroes. The handsome man asks how the exam was. Genos tells him that it was a waste of time. He asks him if he came to fight. The man raises his hand. He tells Genos to be careful. He says he would forget him, saying the exam was useless, and thanks him for his time. He taps his shoulder and says, "Welcome to the team." Genos tells Saitama that he has something he has to do. Saitama wishes him good night, and they walk away separately. At a penthouse, the handsome man says, "A waste of time. What an interesting man." Next we see Saitama's house. He is reading a book and checks to see what Genos is doing. Genos says, "I am studying your every move." Saitama is frustrated because he doesn't know what to teach Genos. Genos reminds him that he must work as hero once a week or lose the job. He is shocked and says he watched the news and there was no monster attacking the city. Genos answers, "Class C heroes don't need to fight monsters. You just stop robberies and random attacks by moving around the city." Saitama is shocked to hear this. He shouts, "Genos, this isn't time to play around," and hurriedly wears his suit to go out. Genos wants to follow him as his student, but Saitama gets an idea. He explains that strength training won't work on his body because he is a cyborg, but training his mind will give him strength. He thinks, "I am just making this up." He orders Genos to focus on getting into the top Fey and S rank. Genos listens and says he will do his best. He goes outside and runs through the city desperately looking for bad guys to fight. He finds none and tries to catch his breath. He thinks he has only one day to fight bad guys or he would lose his hero job and decides to head home. The next day, Saitama looks around worriedly hoping to find a bad guy. Suddenly a knife flies towards him. He catches it and sees the ninja. He tries to remember his name. The ninja reminds him and challenges him to a fight. Saitama says he is busy and walks away. The ninja angrily draws his sword and teleports to attack Saitama, but he breaks the sword with his teeth, shocking the ninja. He repeats again, "I am busy." He warns him that he will punch him, which scares the ninja. Suddenly a woman points at him and tells a man to stop him. The man introduces himself as a hero. Saitama laughs at the ninja, but the hero holds Saitama's head and says she means you. The woman says he was running around scaring everybody. Saitama tries to explain that he is a hero too, but the man doesn't know him and says stop scaring people. A crowd gathers around cheering the hero. He laughs because the crowd recognizes him and asks Saitama to fight him so that he can impress them. Suddenly some shuriken hit him and explode. The hero falls down unconscious. Saitama asks the ninja, "Why did you do that?" He answers him, "I want to fight you." The crowd runs away in fear. The ninja says, "Since you are a hero, I will make you fight me." He teleports to the sky and throws shurikens. Those flies towards Saitama. The shurikens destroy some buildings around him. Saitama tells him to stop, but the ninja asks him for a fight. As the people panic, a car flies towards a child. Saitama stops the car, then he realizes that the ninja is a bad guy. He teleports to the ninja. Then he knocks him to the ground. He says, "I hope this counts as a bad guy." Meanwhile, at the hero headquarters, an official talks about the ninja being a criminal. The head official asks a female operator about some problems in Saitama's city. She tells him that 2 heroes are investigating it now. A floating woman surprises them and asks if she can go there. The official replies, "It is not a big deal." She gets angry and shouts if he is looking down on her. The operator tells her that the issue isn't for S-class heroes. She tells them to call her if there is a problem. Then she flies out saying, "It would be faster if I went myself." Meanwhile, in the city, a monster appears. At City A Hero headquarters, an official gives a report about the threats in different cities. He talks about an S-class hero called Watchdog Man in Q City where monsters' attacks are very frequent. An official with one eye tells them that the hero has killed a lot of monsters and doesn't ask for help. The officials talk about the other cities and their heroes. They mention D City is still recovering from a monster attack. The boss explains that preventing monster attacks is getting harder. He finishes the report by saying Hammerhead and the hero's neck have changed. A bald man asks about Z City. He says there have been rumors of monsters there. An official with glasses tells him they have no report yet. He informs them that they sent Fey heroes to investigate the city. At Z City, the 2 heroes are a class, a man with a hat and another on suit. As they walk into the city, the hero on suit says that this part of the city is abandoned because of the monster attacks. He tells him that the attacks have been increasing for the past Fey years. His friend agrees, calling it a ghost town. They stop in front of an electric fence. The hero on suit warns him to get ready to fight when they pass through the gate. As they walk, the man on suit explains that the monsters here are a lot because of a monster colony or monster queen might be here. They stop at a hole close to Saitama's house. Genos is home and senses their presence. The hero with a cap says defeating the monster will increase their rank. A monster walks behind them. They turn around but can't find it. The hero on suit suggests that they chase it. Genos continues washing the toilet after they leave. Meanwhile, the monster cannot find humans around. The heroes stop when they see it. He pulls out a catapult with a red dot and aims it at the monster. He fires a ball that turns into a drill at it. The monster deflects it with its hair, then wraps the hero's leg and pulls him through a gutter before it slams him into a building. It attacks the other hero. He dodged and pulls out a handkerchief and transforms it into a sword. The monster attacks him with its hair, but the hero blocks all the attacks with his sword. He stomps his feet on the ground and transforms his sword into a spring. He shoots it at the monster. It dodges, but the sword extends to the end of the street. The hero is surprised it dodged and draws back the sword, while the man thinks its hair is very strong. The monster looks at the damage the sword caused in its hair. He looks at his unconscious friend and sends a message for help with a phone at his back. To buy time, he asks the monster if he is from the town. The monster answers no, it came here because he heard that strong monsters were coming here. Then it spreads its hair and prepares to attack the hero. It says, "Call me the Ghost Town Monster." Meanwhile, an operator at the headquarters alerts the boss about the message. He orders her to call every hero. The heroes receive the message and ask if it is the Ghost Town Monster. A black-haired hero offers to go. Meanwhile, the monster breaks the hero's blade. He is injured and his suit is torn. He says, "No wonder people abandon this place. The monsters here are strong." He falls down and faints. The monster is sad and says it didn't enjoy the fight and can't stay here because there are no humans. Suddenly, it sees Saitama approaching. It thinks Saitama is a hero and wonders, "I thought everyone left because of monsters." Saitama walks up to it and the monster attacks him with its hair. Saitama looks at it and says, "I forgot to buy leaves for soup." Later, Saitama cooks it in the kitchen. Genos tells him he saw a lot of soup leaves outside. Saitama says he got it very cheap. Genos replies that the leaves are good for him and will help him grow hair. At the hero headquarters, an official reads a report that the two heroes are alive, but don't know what happened to the monster. At a bar, some men talk to a beautiful woman about the monster. She tells them she is not interested. Meanwhile, at the headquarters, the floating lady shouts at the head official, "You should have sent me." He shows her a picture of the damage in the city. She replies, "I would have been fine." At Z City, some heroes look at the damaged building. They are shocked and wonder what type of monster did it. A hero picks up a leaf and asks, "What is this?" At night, a rumor begins to spread about a strong monster living in the abandoned town in Z City. In the next scene, a huge meteor is heading towards Earth. Three men at an observatory and a man with using a telescope notice it. Outside a space station, an astronaut spots the meteor. At a space agency, officials confirm it's heading for City Z. At the hero's headquarters, officials discuss how to deal with it. Genos receives a call to report there. He tells Saitama he'll be back soon, and walks outside. Genos arrives at headquarters and meets an old man who introduces himself as Bang, an S-class hero. Genos says he got a call to come. The old man says every S-class hero was called, but most are too busy or simply don't care. He says, "Class heroes are called when there's an impossible problem." He explains the meteor is a dragon-level threat headed for the city. Genos is shocked. Bang says the meteor will soon wipe out City Z. He adds that nothing can be done and advises Genos to leave with his loved ones. Genos asks if the people know. Bang replies to an announcement will be made 5 minutes before it crashes. Genos asks if Bang will evacuate. He says no, he can't abandon his family dojo. He turns to show off a martial arts technique, but Genos is already gone. The meteor is above Earth, and the people are trying to evacuate the city. A man looks at the sky scared and says it is huge, we can't escape. Meanwhile, Genos runs through the city with a suitcase, thinking if the meteor crashes, other cities will be affected too. He sees the meteor and activates a button on his suitcase. It transforms into 2 mechanical arms which he equips before landing on a rooftop. He thinks of attacking the meteor with his full power to save Saitama's city. Suddenly, a robot flies past him, surprising him. The robot lands. Genos asks if it is the S-class hero Bofoy. He confirms it, then asks if Genos is here to stop the meteor. Genos asks for help. The robot refuses, saying he is only there to test its new weapons on the meteor. Genos argues that if the meteor hits, everyone will die. The robot says his real body is elsewhere and to call him Metal Knight. As the meteor nears, Genos climbs a tall building preparing to fire. But the robot launches its missiles first. Genos looks at the robot and the meteor thinking, I cannot fire with his missiles in the way. The missiles hit the meteor and explode, seeing the smoke. Genos thinks it is a strong attack, but when the smoke clears, the meteor is still intact. He's shocked. Genos thinks the meteor will land in 5 seconds. I need 5 seconds to charge my core for an attack. He charges his body and thinks, will my weapons be strong enough to stop? Yet the old man appears behind him and says calm down. He tells Genos not to overthink and just do it. Genos thinks of Saitama and tears open his shirt. He opens his chest revealing his core. He removes it and puts it in his arm as he charges it. He warns the old man to hide, and thinks I will pour everything into this shot. He fires a powerful beam that hits the meteor. He yells as he keeps firing it. He thinks it is not working. The old man says, "It is working." Later, he says no it isn't. Genos keeps firing and thinks, is this where I will die? The beam stops and he falls to his knees exhausted. He warns the old man to run away before the meteor crashes. Saitama appears. The old man is shocked and asks who he was. He replies, I am just a hero for fun. He crouches and jumps into the air, amazing both of them. He flies towards the meteor saying, I won't let you fall on the town, and punches through it, causing the meteor to explode. Bang says, he broke it, but fragments fall, damaging the city. He grabs Genos and jumps to safety. Saitama lands as a meteor fragment destroys the building behind him. He says, that should do it. 3 days later, the news reports that the city wasn't destroyed, but many homes were damaged. Genos watches it. He tells Saitama, they should have called you instead of me to team up with Metal Knight. Saitama says, nobody died, don't worry about it. Genos agrees, thinking Saitama's punch reduced the impact without it. Other cities might have been destroyed from the crash. He knows people blame Saitama for the destruction, but decides not to tell him. Saitama asks if their ranks increased. Genos says, I went up 1 rank in S class. You went from C rank Fey to rank Fey. Saitama is shocked. Genos explains it was a dragon level threat. If the city hadn't been damaged, Saitama would have been ranked S class Fey. I think the association thought Metal Knight and I did everything. Saitama asks what threat levels are. Genos explains. Tiger level means lots of lives lost. Demon level is a city's destruction. Dragon level is multiple cities. God level means extinction of humanity. Genos says, but that kind of stuff doesn't matter to you. Saitama replies, if heroes run away, who's left to help? Genos is stunned and writes down his words. Saitama puts on his hero suit and leaves. Genos looks worried as he walks away. Saitama walks through the damaged city. His favorite supermarket is destroyed, but his old apartment is fine. A man in a tank top appears and calls him a cheat. Saitama asks who he is. The man calls his brother. Another man lands near Saitama. He introduces himself as Tank Top Black Hole. They accuse Saitama of using S-class heroes to cheat and increase his rank. The yellow-haired one wants to fight, but his brother has another plan. He breaths in and shouts, this is the man that damaged the city. The yellow-haired one thinks. People are already mad at him. The shouting draws a crowd. The man smiles as more persons start to come to look. His brother says, this man destroyed your homes and city. He smiles as he says, you still want to be a hero after destroying the city. The people start accusing Saitama, making the man smile. He says, these are victims of this hero. The people begin to get angry at Saitama and call him names for destroying their homes. He points at Saitama and tells him to quit being a hero. His brother joins him and soon the crowds are telling Saitama to quit. The yellow-haired one smiles. We've hurt his pride. At home, Genos reads an article accusing Saitama. He looks out the window. His brother keeps shouting it as well. From a distance, the old man watches them. He thinks these are the ungrateful people you saved. The old man thinks Saitama is the strongest man he has met, but he doesn't want to interfere in this matter, and hopes he quits. Genos arrives as the two heroes threaten Saitama. The yellow-haired one charges to attack. Saitama punches him away, surprising his brother who angrily jumps to attack. But Saitama holds his fingers and squeezes them, making the man beg. The man apologizes for lying. Saitama says no you aren't. He tells the crowd, I smashed the meteor. Anyone who wants to talk, let's hear it. A man complains, but Saitama angrily tells him to shut up. He says, I am not a hero for your approval. I am a hero for fun, you baldies. Saitama gets very angry, but Genos walks to him as he shouts at the crowds and says let's go home. As they head home, Genos tells him, even if the people do not thank you, you are amazing, and I will still follow you. Next, we see a monster on a street. A hero rides toward the area. The monster talks to the crowd and says, you should all surrender. My people are coming. As the hero pedals his bike quickly, the monster sees Saitama. He jokes, you have a nice head. Are you related to an octopus? And laughs. When the biker hero gets there, the monster is dead and people talk about how Saitama killed it. At home, he reads about Saitama. He sees that Saitama is a Class C hero and thinks, I can't let him overtake my rank. Meanwhile, sea monsters swim toward the city. A woman screams for help when she sees them. One of them holds a man with his tentacle and tells the crowd, we, the sea monsters, now rule this place. An attack cuts off the tentacle. The monster sees a man with a spear and says, I am going to kill you. The man introduces himself as Stinger, and a class hero. The crowd is excited and cheers for the hero. He looks at the monster and says, any monster who wants to die first, come forward. Meanwhile, at Saitama's house, Genos checks his phone and tells Saitama that his rank has gone up. He gets a phone call and excuses himself. Saitama turns on the TV and Genos walks back in. He asks Saitama if the monster he fought was from the sea. On the news, a reporter talks about the sea monster's attack. Genos says the hero fighting is exhausted. Elsewhere, the biker hero wears his suit and runs out. The hero facing the monsters is injured. He says, "My weapon enjoys tough fights, but now it is time to finish this." He smiles, spins his weapon into the air, and kills all 4 monsters with a single strike. He lands on the ground and celebrates. "Yes, I killed those monsters." Suddenly, a monster with a cape and crown punches him. Meanwhile, Saitama and Genos are running toward the area. Saitama asks if they're close by. Genos tells him he'll scout ahead and flies off. As Saitama runs, an alert warns citizens to stay indoors because the threat level is Tiger. At Hero HQ, an operator says, "The alert just went out." An official with glasses walks in and says, "Upgrade the threat. A hero is down," which shocks them. Elsewhere, the biker hero tries to call and ask for the monster's location. He meets some heroes who urge him to turn back. They hear an alert warning citizens to evacuate because the threat is now demon level. The crowned monster hears the alert and says, "I won't let them evacuate." A hero watches him and thinks of attacking. Suddenly, he senses the monster behind him and shouts in fear. Then he asks for the hero's name. He introduces himself as Lightning Max. He thinks of running away, but the monster punches him into a building. He falls to the ground and lies there injured. The crowned monster approaches and smiles. He gets up and using his rocket boots gives him a spinning kick. The hero is thrown through a wall. As he falls, a man in a prisoner's uniform catches him. He introduces himself as a Class S hero. He says, "I came out of prison just to see you." Behind him, Sonic the Ninja asks, "Why were you in prison? And thanks for letting me escape." He says, "I was in prison because I like attacking beautiful men." The monster walks out and faces them. The hero says, "You are very strong, but you beat up the men I like." He powers up, becoming bigger, but destroys his sweatshirt. He gets angry and says, "My boyfriend made that for me." He tells the monster, "I am going to kill you." It licks its lips and says, "Let me get serious," and punches the hero. He punches the monster back. Then he punches it again. It flies backward and says, "Your attack didn't hurt." The hero also tells him, "Your attacks are weak too." Sonic thinks the hero is pretending to be tough, but the punch clearly hurt. He decides they're both weak and easy to defeat. The hero thinks, "That punch was stronger than I expected. I must fight seriously." He transforms and becomes naked, which surprises the monster. Sonic thinks, "I don't want to watch this naked man fight." The hero says, "No one has seen this form and survived." The monster tells him, "You look disgusting." The hero jumps into the air, flies down and starts punching him. Elsewhere, Genos locates them and tries to call Saitama, but can't reach him. He heads toward the fighters. The hero breathes heavily after the punch attacks. The monster is not injured, which surprises them. It dashes toward him, punches him in the gut, on his shoulder, and gives him an uppercut. As he falls, the monster says, "Let me show you how it's done." It punches him heavily and kicks him into a building, which shocks Sonic. He asks the monster, "Who are you?" It says, "I am the Sea King and I want to rule this world." Sonic tells him he isn't strong enough. The Sea King says, "I will kill you." The Sea King charges at Sonic. Sonic evades the attack and kicks its face. He calls the Sea King weak. Suddenly, its tongue attacks him, but Sonic slams its mouth shut, cutting it off. It tries to grab him, but Sonic dodges. Then it punches at him, but he evades all the attacks and mocks the Sea King for being weak and slow. He lands on a building. It laughs and looks at him. Suddenly, it attacks him and shatters the building. Sonic dodges but is shocked. He thinks his strength and speed have increased. The Sea King lands and has become bigger. It says, "The rain has given me strength." Elsewhere, a screen shows a reporter talking about the sea monster attack. The biker hero stops at a red light and sees Saitama. Saitama asks if he has seen Genos. Meanwhile, the TV reporter introduces the rank Fei Class A hero who is a singer and model Handsome Amai Mask. The reporter asks him, "How would you stop the monsters now that the threat level is demon?" He says he only came to the show to promote his new song. The reporter apologizes and asks about the song. He says, "Let me say this to all heroes to keep the people safe. You need to be fast, strong, and perfect. It is a shame that some heroes lost to monsters." At this moment, Sonic and the Sea King are fighting. Sonic runs away, thinking, "My attacks have no effect on him. I need to find a weapon." As he runs, the Sea King grabs him mid-air and crushes him. He checks his hand and sees only his clothes. He looks around and spots Sonic naked. Sonic says, "I will kill you next time," and disappears. Sonic appears near Genos. Genos asks, "Who are you?" Sonic tells him, "If you're going to fight the Sea King, forget it." Sonic dashes away. Genos says, "Who was that naked man?" Suddenly, Genos senses that the Sea King is heading toward the evacuation shelter. At the shelter, a man tells his son not to worry. They are safe inside. Outside the shelter, the Sea King senses the people inside. He jumps toward it and breaks the roof and gets inside. He tells them, "Hello and goodbye," which scares the people. A blonde man raises his hands and says, "Please, we surrender. We'll do anything you say." The man is a hero who hid in the evacuation shelter. The Sea King laughs and tells him he plans to kill everyone and asks them to scream when he does. The blonde man thinks, I'll try to delay until the S-class heroes come. But he gets terrified looking at the Sea King and pees his pants. Suddenly 2 heroes jump out and say, we will fight with you. He is shocked heroes are there. A man walks out and says he is an A-class hero. The crowd is excited that heroes are here. Meanwhile, the biker hero and Saitama head toward the monster. Saitama sees a naked man and goes to check. The biker hero gets a call. The caller tells him the shelter is under attack. He drops his phone and rides away. At the shelter, the heroes plan to attack the Sea King. Elsewhere, Saitama looks for the naked guy but sees a phone ringing on the floor. At the same time, the Sea King has defeated the heroes. It laughs and mocks the people. A voice asks, are you a sea monster? At Hero HQ, the officials try to warn the biker hero to turn back, but it is Saitama who picks up the call. They ask for the biker hero. Elsewhere, the biker hero is riding at full speed toward the shelter. Saitama tells the officials, this is the hero Saitama. We see Genos, who asks, are you the Sea King? The monster says, yes, so what? He lands and punches it with a blast attack that takes it outside. Genos turns around and says, the target is destroyed. Are there any monsters left? The crowd becomes excited and cheers. Suddenly, the Sea King appears behind him, rips off his arm and punches him into a wall. At the Hero HQ, the official asks Saitama, you are a C rank hero. Can you fight the monster? Saitama says, yes. He looks at Saitama's hero records and thinks, people say he is a cheat. His boss says, let him go. Let's see if he is really strong. The official gives Saitama directions to the shelter. Meanwhile, the biker hero rides his bike towards the shelter. At the shelter, Genos tells the people to run while he fights the Sea King. The monster heals its face and says, none of you will escape. He runs towards the people, but Genos jumps towards him with a rocket boost and kicks him in the face. They begin exchanging blows. Genos lands a punch and kicks him up out of the shelter. Then he burns him up with a blast. He blinds the Sea King with a bright flash. He flies down and punches him through the roof till he falls to the floor. As they fight, a little girl encourages Genos, you can do it. The Sea King gets angry and spits acid at her, but Genos runs and blocks the attack, which damages him heavily. The Sea King drags his head and flings him into a wall. Then he runs and punches him out of the shelter. The Sea King says, you could have won if you hadn't saved the girl. You hurt me, but I've healed. Now die. Just then, the biker hero arrives and throws his bike at him. Genos warns him to escape. He charges to attack the Sea King, who says, I am bored, and catches his punch easily, slamming him like a toy on the floor. He flings the hero away and goes back to kill Genos, but the biker hero approaches and tries to tackle him again. The Sea King watches him, then he transforms and knocks the hero back. The hero struggles to stand and says, no one expects my help because they think Class C heroes are weak. He admits, I am too weak to be a Class B hero, and I am not strong enough to fight you. He stands up and says, but that won't stop me. The Sea King turns around and asks, are you begging for your life? The biker hero with injuries yells, I will fight you right here and now. The people at the shelter watch him sadly. The Sea King tells him, enough talking, it is time you die. As they face each other, a boy shouts, you can do it. He cries, I believe in you. Soon, the people at the shelter begin to cheer him and wish him good luck. The biker hero yells and charges towards the Sea King, who punches him into the air, stunning everyone. The biker hero lands on Saitama's arm. The Monster King looks at him and says, another weakling. He notices Genos and asks if he is still alive. Genos manages to say master. The Sea King appears and punches Saitama's head. He says, impressive. You are better than all this trash. Saitama tells him, no, your punch was just weak. The people at the shelter recognize Saitama. They get worried because he is a Class C hero and think he is very weak. A woman says, but the punch didn't hurt him at all. Meanwhile, the Sea King introduces himself to Saitama as the King of the Deep, and since he is the strongest from the sea, he is also the future ruler of the world. Saitama says, it is raining, let's fight. The Sea King throws a fist, but Saitama punches him so hard the rain stops. Everyone is stunned. The Sea King falls down dead, and everyone cheers and celebrates happily that he killed it. Saitama thinks, I thought he was going to be stronger. Elsewhere, Sonic appears and says, I am back with my weapons. Where are you, Sea King? Later, at Saitama's apartment, a drone drops off a package. Genos tells Saitama it's the mail from the Hero HQ. It is dangerous to come here. Inside the box are fan letters. Genos is shocked when he reads a love letter, while Saitama opens his own. The letter calls Saitama a bald bastard. Genos sees it and tells him he would find the sender. Saitama says, don't bother. Genos remembers the previous day. After defeating the Sea King, the people at the shelter are praising him. A black-haired loser says, the monster wasn't tough and the other heroes were weak. He adds, if a Class C hero killed it with a single punch, the other heroes aren't strong, and laughs. A man says, stop it, they risked their lives for us. The loser says, "It's annoying when weak people try to save you. This man did all the work." A man angrily grabs him and tells him to shut up. Genos turns to look at Saitama, who is listening. Saitama laughs, which surprises everybody. He says, "The other heroes weakened it, so beating it was easy." Genos looks at him as he adds, "I barely did anything. Now I get to take all the credit." He turns angrily and says, "Tell everyone I killed the monster." The people at the shelter start talking about him. A man with spiked hair calls him a cheat. Saitama says, "Take care of the injured heroes so I can take credit for their work." The people start calling him a cheat, saying the other heroes did better. Genos raises his head and thinks, "Master is doing this to make us heroes look good and not useless. I will not interfere with his plan." Back at the house, Saitama finds another letter written to him, and it's a note that says, "Thank you, hero." Genos tells him about a letter from the Hero Association. He opens it and finds out that he has been promoted to Class C, rank A. At the Hero HQ, Saitama is in a large hall. He asks the officials, "Why am I here?" They say, "You would know if you read the Hero Guidebook." They congratulate him on becoming C rank A. He asks, "Are you guys the ones who give the ranks?" They say, "Yes, we also want to interview you." They explain that his new rank allows him to jump directly into Class B if he agrees. He accepts and says, "Yes, I would like to move up." A female official tells him that they will interview him and give him some tests. Above the room, 3 officials watch them. The black man says, "He broke our test records." The lady adds, "People say he cheated." An official in glasses says, "It's just a rumor. Let's increase his rank and see if he is really strong." On a screen, we see Saitama. An official holds it for a handsome hero. He tells the official he is only interested in Class A and S heroes. He says, "I watch heroes so they don't ruin my image like last time." The official replies, "Saitama was the hero who defeated the Sea King." He shows the hero a video of Saitama punching the Sea King. At the Hero Association hospital, 2 injured heroes read about the monster attack angrily. The S-class hero in prisoner uniform appears. They are surprised he is not in prison and run out when he brings out a needle. He sees the newspaper calling him an S-class failure. At night, Saitama walks home holding a paper that shows he is now in Class B. On the way, he sees a food stand and walks in. He sits and orders a meal. The biker hero is there and offers to buy him a drink. Saitama asks why. He points at the letter and says, "To celebrate your new rank." Saitama remembers the biker hero giving him a ride. On the way to the shelter, he asks Saitama, "Are you scared of the monster? It is so strong that we might not be able to defeat it." He tells Saitama to run if he is afraid. Saitama asks what class he was. He tells him, "Class C." Saitama says, "It's hard doing the weekly duty for us Class C heroes." He laughs and introduces himself as Mumen Rider. Saitama smiles as they dodge a parked van. A meal is dropped on the table. He tells Saitama that he has been looking for him because he couldn't thank him properly in his letter. Next we see a snowy mountain. At its bottom, a huge monster awakes and walks out. It sees some vehicles shooting rockets at it and heads towards them. An airplane approaches. Inside, an official checks his watch and says, "We will be there soon." A cloaked figure falls down as they open. The cloak falls off, revealing a green-haired girl who flies to the ground. The monster asks, "Who are you?" She ignores him and picks a call, angrily shouting, "I am not coming back. You told me a weird monster was waking up." The monster tells her, "I am not weird." She says, "Shut up, I am on the phone." She ends the call and complains about her boss. The monster asks her, "Are you done, you tiny human?" The monster stomps his foot to crush her. But she flies and looks at him. He admits, "You are not weak, but only a giant meteor can kill me." She says, "All right." He charges an attack. Suddenly, a meteor falls from the sky. Next we see the monster's crushed body while she watches. Elsewhere, an official arrives at a dojo. In the dojo, an old man is showing off a martial arts skill. He asks if Saitama and Genos want to learn it. Saitama says he is not interested and asks Genos. Genos says, "No." The old man's apprentice gets angry and challenges Genos. Genos grabs his neck till he gives up and asks, "Is this your strongest student?" The man tells them that an ex-student beat and injured all his apprentices. Saitama asks for the student's name. The old man says, "He was Garo, my best student. I had to beat him and expel him." Saitama tells him, "Old man, you are strong." His student gets angry and says, "His name is Bang, not Old Man, and he is class rank Fei." Bang tells his student to stop. An official appears at the door and tells them that all the S-class heroes have been summoned. Genos asks if it is a dragon. Level threat. Bang orders his student to look after the dojo. At the Hero HQ, they walk in and meet a man. He greets Bang, who addresses him as Atomic Samurai. The samurai recognizes Genos but not Saitama. Bang introduces Saitama as a Class B hero. He tries to shake his hand but the samurai slaps it away and says, "I only notice strong people. Get to S-class firsts." He walks away, leaving them. The green-haired woman asks, Who brought a rank B loser here? This is an insult to us. Saitama is shocked as she tells him to leave. He asks, who is this spoiled child? Genos says, that is Tatsumaki, S-class rank Fei. She is an Esper. Genos tells Saitama, let's go to the meeting. At the meeting, the S-class heroes are seated around a table, while a hero in red says, I will fight any monster. The prisoner thinks I must get closer to Genos. A hero in a dog suit sniffs and says to himself, summoning farted. A dark-skinned hero says in his head, they are looking at my muscles. While the rank Fei hero is absent. Another just eats sandwiches. Bang asks, why did they summon us? Tatsumaki replies, I don't know, I have been waiting for fate hours. Saitama asks for some tea, making them look at him. A door opens, and the officials walk in. The boss says, sorry we are late. He tells them to call him Sich and says, you are the strongest heroes. He slams his hands down and adds, we need you guys to save the world. He tells them that the mission is hard and those who do not want to fight should leave. But once they begin, they cannot quit. He asks if they are willing to hear the details. A hero in red asks, what mission is so hard that you called us here? He says, if it is stupid, I will destroy this place. Tatsumaki tells him to be quiet. The boss tells them that their seer, Shibabawa, is dead. A hero asks if she was killed. An official says, no, she was looking into the future when she choked on a cough drop. Saitama asks the prisoner, who is Shibabawa? He says, she is a powerful seer who can see the future. An official tells them that she has prevented a lot of disasters. The boss agrees and says her predictions are Fei% accurate. He brings out a note and tells them that this was her last prophecy before she died. The heroes read it in shock. The earth is in trouble. A child says, this is dumb, I have classes to attend. The boss says, you are too young to understand, which makes the boy angry. The boss explains that Shibabawa's prophecies have always come true and have saved a lot of lives. He says, but she has never used the word trouble, which means a god-level disaster will happen in the next 6 months. The man tells the heroes to be ready within 6 months. Saitama says, if it is within 6 months, it can be today or tomorrow. The boss agrees. Saitama smiles and says, good thing I am here. Suddenly, the building shakes. Everyone gets up wondering why outside. A flying monster is attacking the building. His friends join him in the air. He tells them to follow him as he destroys Hero HQ. He dashes forward but stops. His friends fall down dead. His body splits in two. An alien with 4 heads flies down. Behind it, a huge spaceship appears and destroys the city below it with a huge explosion. The boss asks, what is happening outside? An official tells him worriedly, I can't reach anyone. The boss checks the console. He sees some alerts that shocks him. Elsewhere, a man raises a huge rock and rescues a boy stuck under it. The boy cries and looks up. He notices that the city is destroyed and gets scared when he sees the alien spaceship. Both are terrified when they see the alien. It says, I will kill you. It shoots its fingers at them, but a hero slices it. As the man and child escape, the monster appears behind the hero to crush his head. He escapes. The hero asks, did you destroy the city? Then dashes and slices the alien. Meanwhile, seeing the destruction, the boss holds his head and says, the prophecy came true. Bang asks why Hero HQ is still intact. An official says, Metal Knight built it strong. Genos looks for Saitama, but he is gone. Outside on the Hero HQ building, Saitama looks at the alien spaceship. He jumps toward it. Suddenly, a missile flies toward him. He dodges it mid-air. The ship launches more missiles, but he dodges them and kicks one back, causing an explosion. Meanwhile, the exhausted hero watches as the alien heals itself. Its heads say, let's kill him. It transforms its hand into a club and attacks the hero, breaking his hand. It calls him weak and begins to split. Its bodies are now 4. Suddenly, an attack destroys them, revealing Atomic Samurai. He asks the hero if he is okay, but the hero warns him, Master, the monster can regenerate. The monster gets up, but the samurai slices it into pieces. He tells the hero, treat your arm. Suddenly, the pieces float and come together, forming a 6-eyed alien. It laughs and says, so there are strong humans on this planet. Atomic Samurai replies, did you destroy this city yourself, or are there aliens on that ship? Bang and a hero with a metal bat appear. From behind, the prisoner hero runs and jumps into the air, revealing dark wings. He jumps on it and starts punching it. Meanwhile, inside Hero HQ, an official tells the operators to evacuate the city and check for survivors. An operator asks for the threat level. The official looks at the ship and says, it is God level. Elsewhere, the child hero says, we have to get inside the spaceship. The dark hero asks a hero called King for help. Genos thinks, this is King, the strongest man in the world. King says, there is nothing I can do. He tells them it is too high and they should ask Metal Knight for help. Tatsumaki gets angry and calls him useless. Genos volunteers to go, but she refuses. The dark-skinned hero pleads with him not to annoy her. Genos thinks, Master will take care of it anyway. Inside the ship, a lot of aliens are dead. Saitama is running through the spaceship. an alien appears and challenges him. It jumps to attack him with its acid breath. Saitama punches it and begins wrecking the spaceship. Thinking, when will the boss appear? In a large hall on the ship, the boss, a one-eyed alien, sits on a throne. Now we see the alien spaceship being destroyed from the inside. With lots of dead alien bodies, in a huge hall on the ship, a one-eyed alien, wearing armor and a red cape, walks toward a door. Meanwhile, a blue alien is worried. He says, "Our best warrior has been killed." He watches Saitama from a screen as he destroys the ship. He angrily thinks, what type of strong creature is this? As he complains, the one-eyed alien walks in through a door. He asks, what is the problem? The blue alien says, Lord Boros, there is a human destroying our ship. Boros tells him, don't worry, as long as the purple orb is fine, the ship will keep working, noting that only the living quarters have been destroyed. Boros then commands the alien to take the two strongest fighters to go and kill Saitama. The alien tells him that Saitama has already killed one of them. Boros stares at a picture of Saitama on the screen. Meanwhile, on the news, a reporter talks about the ship above City A. Another reporter on the scene adds that officials are monitoring the ship. Hammerhead watches the news in shock as he fills out a job application. The news shows an image of the alien ship while the Doctor and Ape from the House of Evolution watch in shock. Elsewhere, Sonic sharpens his sword and listens to the news on a radio. The reporter talks about how strong the monsters are. Sonic smiles when he hears this. At City A, Puri is exhausted after punching holes through the alien. A hero is amazed at Puri's damage. Suddenly, the alien heals itself. The hero warns the class as heroes that the alien can regenerate and its attacks are dangerous. The alien smiles and attacks them. Bang steps forward, smacks its fist aside, then punches it back. The alien says, tell the ship to kill these pests with bombs. A head emerges from its body and grows wings. As it flies away, a bat slams it to the ground and a hero knocks the head away. The alien gets a message in its mind. A voice says, we have an intruder. It looks up at the ship surprised and sees an explosion. Meanwhile, Saitama destroys a door. Back at the fight, the hero with a bat notices a red marble as the head heals itself. The head says, I will kill you for that. The hero jumps into the air and attacks the head. While the alien's main body fights the S-class heroes, Puri punches, Bang uses his martial arts, and the samurai slashes it. The wounded hero warns them again. He says, let's retreat until we find a way to beat it. They ignore him and keep fighting the alien and its head. The hero thinks they won't listen to me. After the monster heals its body, the voice tells it again, return to protect the ship. It replies that it's busy. The blue alien is worried and asks, are they that strong? It informs him that Saitama has killed half of the aliens. The heroes continue attacking. The alien tells the blue one, drop some bombs on these humans. The blue alien says, alright, I will drop some bombs. The alien tells him to wait, but its head is sliced off. As it flies through the air, it thinks about the intruder, then returns to its body. Meanwhile, the hero with the bat attacks the alien's head, revealing a marble. He grabs it. He asks, what is this? The head angrily says, return it, but he smashes it with his bat. The head dies and falls to the floor. The hero tells the other class heroes about the marbles. The alien is shocked he figured it out. The samurai jumps and slashes at the alien. The alien thinks, you will all die when the bombs drop. Now we see a map of the spaceship. Saitama is marked in red. A voice tells Saitama, leave the ship immediately or you will be killed. Saitama says, that is weird. I can hear a voice in my head. He tells the voice he is lost and doesn't know the way out. The alien says, alright, I will guide you. He tells him to take a right turn, but Saitama smiles evilly and goes left. The alien panics and says, don't go that way. Saitama happily runs through the ship, breaks down a door, and sees some aliens standing up from their chairs. He turns and sees blue tentacles. He thinks it is an octopus, but it is the blue alien, who uses his power to throw rocks at him. He says, I am the most powerful psychic in the universe. I will end you. Elsewhere, a bar loads and an alien asks, my lord, the bombs are almost ready. Should I drop them? He gets no reply. Meanwhile, the alien looks at Saitama in surprise. Saitama asks, are you a psychic? The alien says, I will be serious now. The operators are scared and try to run. Its eyes glow and the ground crumbles under Saitama. It tells him, my power allows me to control gravity. It is shocked when it doesn't affect Saitama. It lifts rocks and spins them around itself, then releases them as beams. It laughs, thinking Saitama is dead, but is shocked when it sees him alive. Saitama says, what a waste of psychic powers. He throws the rock through its head, killing it instantly. Then he jumps down and asks two aliens hiding, where is your boss? On the Hero HQ building, an S-class hero shows Genos that the energy in the ship is increasing. At the entrance, an official gets a call from the boss. The boss orders him, tell everyone to go into the shelter. An explosion will happen soon. Elsewhere, an injured civilian struggles to walk. He falls to his knees but is surprised when a bicycle appears. Meanwhile, the bar is charged and the alien says, let's target the humans. At City A, Puri breaks a marble, killing a head and leaving only 2. The alien looks up and says, anytime soon. The weapon operator finds them and presses a button. The ship fires bombs at them. The heroes are afraid. The alien says, it's time to die. Suddenly, Tatsumaki lands and stops the bombs mid-air. She says, you old men can't even fight one alien. Then she flies up. She redirects the bombs and says, take your bombs back. They fly into the spaceship, causing a huge explosion. The boss and officials are amazed. At Hero HQ, a man is wheeled in. The official thanks the biker hero. The hero asks, where should I go? I want to rescue the survivors. The official isn't convinced, but 2 heroes appear and want to follow the biker hero. They ask the official if they can borrow a car. Elsewhere, the alien shoots its hands at a hero. He evades the attack mid-air and uses his bat to strike it. Puri grabs its arms and Bang runs on them. He removes the marble from the monster's head and breaks it. The alien angrily slams Bang through some walls. The samurai and other heroes yell in fear as Bang hangs from the wall. The alien laughs and mocks them for being weak. He tells the samurai, I'm killing you next. The samurai angrily replies, bring it on. Inside the spaceship, Boros is sitting on a throne. He says, he is coming. We see Saitama running toward a wall. He jumps and breaks through it. It crumbles, and Saitama lands in the throne room. Boros looks at him, thinking, this is the strongest warrior on this planet. He has unlimited power. He gets up and asks for Saitama's name. He introduces himself as Boros, dominator of the universe and leader of a pirate group called Dark Matter. Saitama tells him his name and says, I don't know what you want from Earth, but you totally destroyed City A. Boros walks down the stairs and tells Saitama about a prophecy. He says, I was a space conqueror so strong that no one could fight me. He adds, so I got bored until one day a seer told me that on a planet I would meet someone as strong as me, who would make me love fighting again. He approaches Saitama and says, I traveled for years to get here. Now that I see you, I know the prophecy is true. He smiles, telling Saitama to fight him. Suddenly, Saitama punches him into a pillar. He asks, are you dumb? You shouldn't go around killing people just because you're bored. Boros emerges from the pillar. His armor flashes and shatters to pieces. He says, you broke my armor, which sealed my unlimited power. Boros powers up. His body turns blue and begins to flash, releasing a powerful aura. While Saitama watches, Boros says, it is time. In the next scene, Boros runs forward and punches Saitama, but Saitama blocks all his attacks. He throws a punch that pushes him back, then chases Saitama. They begin fighting in the air with Saitama blocking his attacks. Saitama punches him again and lands, cutting Boros's arm. Boros says, even at my full power you can still fight me. Elsewhere, an S-class hero looks at the ship. He thinks the city is badly destroyed. Because no one can reach the ship, he gathers power in his arm and grabs a rock. He throws it at the ship. Suddenly, the rocks begin to float. Tatsumaki appears and says, hurry and leave. The hero falls and shouts, she is so strong. She sends the rocks at the ship, causing explosions. The aliens inside are scared and call out for help. The operator cries, I want to go home. Outside the ship, Gino sees the attack and thinks Tatsumaki is very strong. A hero approaches them and says he is leaving. The child hero says, alright. He walks to Gino's and says, I want to talk to you. The hero warns him, Metal Knight is your enemy. Gino's asks why. He says, you will know soon. Elsewhere, the alien forms a blade with his hand and charges at the samurai, who slashes it. He attacks with others, but the samurai slices them all and jumps back. The monster laughs and says, you will be dead soon. Bang appears, shocking the alien. The samurai shows up behind it and slices it into dust, revealing a marble as it regenerates. While the head forms, Bang removes the marble and says, I finally got you, and breaks it, causing the head to panic. It dies and turns to dust. The samurai smiles and says, I would have killed him. Bang tells them he is getting old. A hero tells them that they still have to destroy the ship. Elsewhere, the biker hero looks at the ship, while the other heroes rescue a girl. The heroes call to him. He turns and rides away. Inside the ship, Boros punches Saitama, who blocks his attacks. He dashes in mid-air, hitting him. As they fight, they destroy a column. Boros punches Saitama through pillars till his body stops at one. Then he runs and drop-kicks him, destroying another pillar. Saitama heads up as Boros chases him down. He throws a punch, but Saitama dodges it. They explode out of the ship. They land on the ship. Boros's body flashes with blue energy as he says, you are the strongest person I have fought. The energy turns into a beam. He fires it at Saitama, causing an explosion on the ship. Saitama gets up after the attack, but Boros appears from behind and punches him. The punch puts out the fire. Boros tells him, you are strong, but you cannot beat me. He tells Saitama about his people and their regenerative abilities. He says, I have self-healing and great strength. An injury that would kill you, I can heal in seconds. He regenerates his arm and shows it to Saitama. He tells Boros, shut up, are you done fighting? Boros looks at him in shock. He clenches his fist and shouts, not yet. While he charges energy around him, his body turns pink. He dashes and punches Saitama away. The blow causes an explosion that kills the aliens on the ship. As Saitama flies backwards, Boros appears and dashes around him while punching him. The attacks destroy the ship's surface and explode as they keep fighting. Boros spins him around, then flies up and slams him down. He follows up with a knee kick, causing a lightning explosion. The attack knocks Saitama away into the moon's surface. On the moon, Saitama looks around and holds his breath. He grabs a rock and throws it behind him. Then he crouches and jumps towards Earth. It causes a huge crater on the moon. Meanwhile on Earth, Boros is exhausted because using the beam attack reduces his lifespan and energy. Suddenly, Saitama lands on the ship, causing a huge shockwave that shakes it. The heroes see it and think Tatsumaki used her power. Boros stares in shock as Saitama climbs out of a hole and says, I am back. Boros gets angry and runs towards him, then attacks him from all sides. Saitama punches him, making him cough blood and fly back. He slides on the floor and says, you are really strong, Saitama. Suddenly, Saitama punches him multiple times at once, destroying his body. Boros's eye turns black, and his body reassembles and turns golden. He begins to charge his energy. As he does, lightning comes from his body, destroying anything it touches. He releases a powerful beam at Saitama. Saitama says, I have to get serious as well. He clenches his fist and punches the beam back at Boros, destroying the ship and splitting the clouds. Later, we see a dried up body of Boros. He asks Saitama, was I beaten? Saitama replies, you were very strong. Boros asks, was it a tough fight for you? Saitama tells him, yes, it was. Boros says, you are lying. It wasn't even a tough fight for you because you are stronger than me. Saitama walks away from Boros's body while the ship shakes and the purple sphere breaks. The spaceship begins to fall to the ground. The heroes see it, while the aliens inside the ship begin to panic. The operator cries, I want to go home. Bang suggests that the S-class heroes run to Hero HQ before the ship crashes. As they run, the samurai wonders how Bang is so fast. Meanwhile, the hero with the bat tells Puri not to run naked in front of him. The aliens in the ship are scared as it crashes. Genos and the Dark Skins class hero watch as it crashes, then head towards it. The class A rank Fei, a Mai Mask, sees the damage and wonders, what happened here? He says all the Class S heroes had a meeting here today. He sees them and approaches. He asks a hero what happened to the city. The hero asks, where did you come from? He says, I was on a movie set. I came here when I heard the explosion. The hero explains that aliens came on a ship and attacked the city, but the heroes took care of it. Ame Mask gets angry and says, you fools, the city is destroyed. The hero angrily tells him he wasn't here. He agrees, but points out the S-class heroes were in the city. The samurai explains that they were in a meeting when the city was attacked. Ame says, not good enough. Puri tells him they did their best. He tells them that they are useless and an embarrassment. He slides down and asks them to retire. A hero approaches him angrily. He threatens to beat him. Ame says, I remain in a class so trash like you can't go to class. A capsule falls from the sky, surprising them. It opens, and Metal Knight walks out. He goes towards the crashed spaceship and says, this is magnificent. Genos asks why he came after the fight. He recalls Drive Knight's warnings. Genos says, did you come here to create weapons with the alien ship? Ame says, these heroes aren't smart enough to use weapons. This angers the hero behind him. The dark-skinned hero calls to them. He says some aliens are here. The aliens are tied up and scared. The operator warns them to be quiet as someone approaches. It's a Mamie Mask, and he kills them. A hero asks why. He says, they did not deserve to live. They were evil. He looks at Genos and says, after the Deep Sea King, you have been an embarrassment. Bang tells Genos not to mind him. Genos says, I am alright, as he walks away. Genos thinks, he reminds me of myself before I met Master. He suddenly remembers Saitama. Meanwhile, Tatsumaki is watching the ship. A hole appears and Saitama walks out. She flies and asks, where did you come from? Genos runs to meet him. He asks if he fought the boss. Saitama says, yes, I did. As they walk, Tatsumaki is shocked. They are ignoring her. She shouts at them to wait. She asks how a Class B hero entered the ship and calls him bald names. Saitama tells Genos to make her stop. Genos says, get lost, spoiled brat. She slams him into the rock and says, I am not a brat. I am older than you. Bang appears and tells her to stop. She flies away. As she does, he says, why are class heroes so annoying? Saitama tries to help Genos and pulls off his hand. After the attack by aliens on the city was completely forgotten. Metal Knight was able to salvage the spaceship. The Hero HQ was later rebuilt. that's all for today. If you liked this anime, make sure to comment why and help us reach 1,000 likes. That way, we'll know you really want the next part.